Welcome to Cities Skylines After Dark in the city, or big city, of Freshwater. Now, if any of you watched the previous episode, you will notice that there's been a few changes. I think one of the addictive problems with this game is that you can't avoid tinkering when you see something that doesn't sit well. And all this started off with the fact that I wasn't happy with the curve that came out of this side of the map, and what actually happened was I ended up rebuilding, realigning the railway and then the road, and then it ended up to this roundabout here, still not perfect. And then when I got down to here, I was looking at this and I thought the roundabout that was originally here was too close to this roundabout, and I thought no, I wanted it on this corner, so I ended up moving that. And then I had a problem with the connecting the railway, so the railways actually goes underground for a short stretch there. It was effectively the only way I could connect this up, and then I decided I needed a connection here, so there's a little bit of underground road there. So that's what's happened. Now the other thing that's happened is starting to get a few problems up here, and there's a power line there, so there's always we're getting a few problems with commercial. I need to check education. No, yep, education's becoming a little bit of a problem at the moment, in the sense that there's a shortage. Actually, what if I bump the budget up? That will help. Let's increase the budget for the moment, rather than build more schools. That might lift the education. I'll just let that work through. Well, today's episode is going to be along here. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I want to try something out, which means that I'm going to have to put some of these guys along the coast. Let's just put one there and one up about there. I connect them to the water supply. I have an idea for cleaning the bay up, hence the positioning of these. I'm just gonna... That's on the connection. This one isn't. I'm not gonna run power lines to these two at the moment. I will to this one. That will probably boost my... because I think these are... it doesn't say there, so I think these have capacity of 160,000. These have a capacity of 120,000. So what I can probably do is, for the moment, is switch off one of these. That should still... looks like I've got a water problem as well growing. Let's just have a check the budget. I think maybe it's time for a water tower to go in. Let's put one in this roundabout just to keep the theme going. Just run a pipe down here. Oh bugger, no electricity. Oh no, it's connected. That will actually connect the two parts of the... give a stronger link there. That should push the water capability up. Electricity is getting a bit low, I think. Don't know if the... Yep. So I think it's time to drop a couple of these in. these out in the water bow. Yeah, the idea is that these don't have, or it says in here that these don't produce any pollution. But what I'm hoping is that because they're dumping water into the bay, that they will actually speed this up a little bit, getting a demand for industry. Any of you guys have noticed a cut in the video? I just had a bit of a coughing fit. So what was I saying? Yes, so the idea is that these plants will push water into the bay, and that might actually push the pollution away. It probably won't get rid of it, but it might over time push it into the bay. So that's the idea. As I said, the exercise today is to start. Oops, no. What I want to do before I do this is I want a fishing pier there. The fishing piers I'm putting in, I might readjust them later on, but the reason I'm doing this is that I want this to run as close to the, let's just put it on a, so it's not quite so, turn the snapping off as well so it's not, what I want is a kind of a coastal boulevard that, do I bring that up there and build my first traffic lights? No, because I want, I'm not deliberately avoiding traffic lights, guys, it's just, I think I have to cut back a bit, I think. But I want to put a whole series of quite close junctions here. I want to come up and touch that roundabout. And as I say, I want to put in a series of quite close junctions. So if I put that up there and try to run off junctions, so if I come off here, does that look a bit odd? Maybe if I great. Actually, that might look pretty good because I want to keep. I don't want large quantities of traffic along this front boulevard or whatever you want to call it. Let's see if we can get that there. Bring this across here. This is just a kind of you can say almost an entry. Into up kind of Wealth Town. Hopefully this will help that. Can be a bit messy. Yeah, the idea is that this will be a kind of a ocean boulevard into the upmarket town, and it will provide a back door down into this area. Now, so we've got this here. I want. Oops, no, I want. To say this is probably going to be a fairly short episode in the sense that so I can run this parallel. because this is going to be my fun town stroke tourist town. I think this can, hopefully this will connect. And what I want to do is run a couple of one-ways. I don't want to crowd it in too much with streets. I want it. See if I can. Put a bit more of a curve in. I don't want it too gridded. So let's put it in here. Maybe curve it in. Oh, that's quite nice. And let's maybe put a little kind of an indent spur there, but not actually touching. As I say, I want it to be a bit more organic, is probably the term. Yeah, that looks good. In this area. You know, to put one in there like that. So we'll, depending on where the port goes, I might expand it that way a little bit. How does that look? Got a there. What we're going to do now is put some pathways in. I want lots of people to be able to walk around this area. It's going to be very much a pedestrian type access. So we've got a little bit there. Gonna come up. Hopefully this will, yes, look at that. Down. Oh, why won't it connect with that? Yes, it will. So we've got a connection there, and I think what we'll do is can we get out? Oh. Sorry guys. Oh, obviously it's might been a bit advantageous. Connect you up there. Come across here. Down. Maybe just there. Yeah. So we've got a couple of foot things. That brings a whole area within the. And what we're going to do now is. So I want to check the zones, because what I want to do is keep tourist town quite small to start with, because let's bring to like that. Actually, what I want to do is have this road separate. So let's just chop that there. Actually, let's do a bit of regioning here. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, I did have a thought that it's time to maybe bring that down here. So steering swear. Certainly want Old Town heavy traffic ban. Some smoke detectors, water and power usage. Now there is one. I'm sure. Taxation. Go for leisure. Education boost. That's the one I want. I think I've had enough uneducated people that aren't massively educated, so I want this area to start taking on So let's... Actually, I think what I'm going to do is just... Oh, I don't want high density. Oh well, let's... want this derezzed, I don't want... Just use the fill tool. Let's put in there... I think probably the larger squares were... Probably will need a police station in here somewhere, so can we get a police station on the back phase? I'll just put a fire station in as well. I think that will work. Actually no, the fire station's probably not in the right place. Sorry I'm fussing, guys. Let's put the fire station there. Oops, no water. It's gonna be messy here. So it's... I probably will adjust it over time. So I think this is going to be a little quick episode. What I want to do here is put some like small kiosks on the beachfront. Nothing, I don't want anything massive building up. I think that's enough for the moment. I think what we did public transport wise, it's getting a... It's going to be a late night city, it's going to have tourists in it as well, so I'm sure if we put the... It's probably too close. Let's bring that down here on the front boulevard. Let's see if we can get a little bit of leisure buildings in. What am I doing for cash? Put that in. Maybe have a beach volleyball and a skate park up here. Sewage treatment's gone right through the roof, I think. So, how's that? What do you think? Let's check the district zonings. It's Fun City. Right, I think it's time to give Fun City the leisure specification. Tourist Town, probably make Tourist Town a little bit better. Maybe I've been a bit too tight for it. So let's just push Tourist Town up this way a bit onto there. Oops, a daisy. Let's push there. Right, I want policy here. Old Town. What I want to do is, whoops, we got no power, so I better put a power line across. Didn't notice that, sorry. Let's get a little bit of, I don't know what we'll turn in. Let's put a couple of areas there. And a bit of fun, let's put a little bit of few offices in, just on this end here. Yeah. Maybe put one or two there. I mean, this is being put in purely just to see what appears. I suspect that high density doesn't produce anything that's particularly there. Probably need to drop some parks or something as well. Let's put a Japanese garden in somewhere. That one. Actually, if we got anything that's a spectacular fountain, a bit too big, maybe this. 120,000. Wow. Ah, zoo. Ah, good. Bloody hell. Sorry. Pardon my language. It's 180,000. So I think we might have to create a special road for that. Space. I mean, that's. I don't know. What do you think of that, guys? Let's do this properly. It's bugging me. Sorry about this. It's pause the game so I don't get a reaction. That's better. So what do you think of that then? Having a zoo there. Might crowd out the port, but I think that might work. Does it classify as a tourist attraction or leisure? Or so we've now got tourists in, got the water pumping out. Let's just turn off this second and see what happens to the sewage availability. Losing that capability. Poor old. Actually, let's just zoom in a bit of. Just so that this. Actually, let's put in a couple of high density single blocks so we can just see what arrives. I'm sure people don't want to be next to the sewage treatment plants, but hey, tough luck. As I say, I do have a concern about the industrial there. That's going to be the next objective. What do you think of that, guys? Let's just get a health clinic close by as well. I think we're getting a bit low, and anyone knows tourists always seem to end up let's get a, maybe there, that will, and the other thing I want to check is, before I call this part to an end, is probably got a potential death wave coming, so what I want to do is drop in a couple of crematoriums. It may seem an odd place to put them, but I don't want to go overboard, but at the same time I want, probably could put something in that area there, like a dead zone there, isn't there? Let's cut a road in there. Could I get a... Yeah, look at that. Like a crematorium in there. And maybe a garden remembrance opposite like that. Yeah, that looks good. Now, one quick tip, okay, I know I'm rambling, I'm aware of the time. One quick tip when it comes to things like crematoriums is don't neglect your industrial areas, believe it or not. It may seem a bit perverse, but what was that? It's wood. I think we'll drop a crematorium in there. Yeah, it may seem a little bit perverse to be saying don't forget to put a crematorium in commercial and industrial areas, but remember, in this game people actually die at work, so you've got to, let's drop another one there. So you don't need to go completely overboard with them, and that's spent virtually all my cash, but you need to put them in fairly strategic places, and if you actually click on them, they have a kind of storage and a processor. I don't know if it actually shows it. A capacity. It doesn't. Patient capacity 105. So what you can do is, rather than take up the cemeteries, you can actually empty the cemeteries to the crematorium and then just let the cemeteries start filling up again. So I think that's... Oh, what if the red tinge is deliberate? Here. Grand City, there we are, look at that. So we've now got solar power plants. That's a very interesting thing which we will explore, because of course now we've got after dark, so it'd be interesting to see if, and what I suspect is, solar power plants don't produce power in the night, so that's going to have an effect. So there we are. So I'm not sure whether the red tinge is meant to have any form of significance, tongue in cheek. So that's, we've now got our tourist area in underway, running, and I think that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. We've got people parking on my road. Don't really want to upgrade that. I might have to put up with that. Pardon me. But you can see we've got plenty of people coming into this area. I mean, I will put some public transport in, but I'll probably do that off camera. I think you guys have got the principle for laying in bus lanes and things like that, so this is where I'm going to leave it. So I deliberately want to keep these things. Oh, ideally it's just getting daylight, so I'm just going to pause the game there. So yep, hope you've liked this episode. We've now got tourists in the city. We've got a small beginnings of a small play all we want arcade. So obviously we haven't got any hotels or anything here. Oh, that's tourist town. And why is... Oh well. Let's say I'll probably expand it a little bit once I expand this way. I don't want the area too big to start with. Maybe these areas don't. There isn't. Maybe heavy commercial. Maybe it has to be light commercials. Just rezone that. Light commercial. Anyway, we're going to experiment with it. Just rezone that. I don't want people living on my. Don't want any businesses on the. So we're going to fill it in. Probably adjust it a little bit just to see what's coming, but I'll monitor that as we go along, and we'll adjust these beach features a bit over time as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We've now got our touristy area there, which will expand probably out as far as there somewhere, and then the next project is going to be dealing with the traffic that's building up in this industrial area. Gonna need to keep an eye on this situation. I might have to temporarily. I'll do that now while I'm thinking about it. I might need to temporarily rezone this area. Also, and do other bits and pieces. But as I say, hope you've enjoyed this episode, and until the next time, whatever game you play, really enjoy playing it.